And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We back, man. Hey, man, Tampa Bay lost, man. We lost 23-17. I would wait for people to come in here. I really don't care. I do care. But we lost 23-17 in Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns were what, 3-7? So now they 4-7. So now we 5-6. Um,
No, yeah.
well, let me just go ahead and start off with this, man. Let's go ahead and get straight on into the jump. So the
Go ahead,
first,
because you know what I'm gonna talk about. So I'm
my
gonna let
biggest
you start
problem,
first.
first of all, the defense in the NFC South, they gave up only 200 points. Okay, I'm not going to say that was a defensive thing. We could blame everybody and say all that, but the truth of the matter, the fact is, the Bucs offense ain't producing nowhere near the amount of numbers that the rest of the NFC South is producing. Let's just get that out the way. Number two, another thing what I have to say is, even though these teams are sorry, there are two teams that I look at, especially the Lions, is the Brown and it's the Lions. When I sit back and say, you know what, these guys may be having a tough little season, but it's not to negate the fact that they don't have any talented players and that they're not on their way and that they're not going to put up a fight. That's my biggest thing about the whole thing. These are still professional athletes. They still have family and everything to play for. Just because they have a bad record doesn't mean that they're not going to put up a fight. Now, people will say, should the Bucs have lost to the Browns? Well, they came in 5-5 anyway. The Browns was only 2 games of a loss ahead, so it is what it is. Now they did have a bye week, so I will give you that. They wasn't supposed to lose. To be honest, I think that was a coaching thing because you don't have a whole bye week and then go into the next week and lose, especially lose to the Browns that way when you just finished beating the Seahawks. The Browns they beat us in a very simple way. They ran the ball. They really ain't do nothing spectacular. And when you look at things, I really just feel like this is the offensive thing, right? The offense and its coaching. The defense they can only give up so much. They can only hold up so much, and they're always giving us all season long. They've been giving us a leeway to win, and I just feel like what's going on is the offense just ain't producing, and that's just what it's boiling down to. The offense just ain't producing, and there's obviously some type of uh, um, um, there's some type of imbalance going on with the coaching. And somebody said last night, as a Bucks fan, which I agree, he said, and I'm gonna give it to you. He said, I think there's too much friendship going on within the franchise, and it kind of messed us up a little bit. Too much buddy stuff going on. You got Byron Leftwich, you got Ty Bowles. They don't probably want to step on each other's toes because they like each other, they know each other. And then you got Tom Brady, who are dealing with a divorce, and nobody really wants to check him because he's the GOAT to Tom. And nobody's really checking anybody the way they should check, the way an average football team and coaching players would be checked. The end.
So I don't think it's that. Now, do I think how Todd Bowles got his current head coaching position was based off of a friendship? Maybe. As you know, last year when Bruce Arians stepped down, he said he wanted to leave the team in good hands with the person who will be coming after him, and that person that who he thought should do the job was Todd Bowles. And I bite my words because at the time when that happened, I did say Todd Bowles was probably the right person to take the Bucs because we all expected how the Bucs ended the season last year. Disappointing loss to the Rams, a disappointing loss the year before, and then we had the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and then a disappointing loss last season. We all thought, okay, they're going to keep it going to where it's going to continue on. My problem with the Bucs this year, and I've been saying it for a while. I'm glad you've hopped on the train, Big Spoke. But my problem with the Bucs is there's talent at every single position on this Bucs roster. There's no reason why. And I was just looking at the stats from the past 3 games. Tom Brady and Mike Evans have their connection rate is abysmal. It's terrible. There's no reason why you have a Tom Brady, a Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin, who both went to the Pro Bowl. Tom Brady is a Hall of Famer. You can debate he's the greatest quarterback ever. You have, a Julio Jones who played very well yesterday when given his opportunities. You have, a young defensive core. there's no reason why the Bucs should be losing games as they should, and particularly when we talk about offense. I've been shouting fire Byron Leftwich from the beginning. Like, the play calling is too predictable. And when we talk about yesterday, and I even just read an NFL.com story, and it was an NFL reporter who said, quote, it marked the first, yesterday was the first time Tom Brady has ever lost a game in his whole career, being up by 7 with 2 minutes left in the game. First time he ever lost. But it said, quote, along with several conservative coaching decisions by Todd Bowles, it allowed the Browns to hang around and eventually earn the OT win. Defense played their hats off yesterday, but as we know with our Bucs defense, it always seems like when you need that one stop to end the game, we never get it. So it's a lot to ask of your defense to hang on for 4 quarters. Because you think about it, the Browns scored 7 points. They scored the first TD on that first drive, and they didn't score again until to force that into OT. So you can't keep asking your defense to go 4 quarters holding a team. They're eventually going to break. And that's what they did. The Browns scored in the fourth with 30 seconds left to end the game. And then the Browns scored again in OT to end the game. Nick Chubb ran all over us. So it's like
Hold on real quick. Hey, Byron Kelly, first of all, you ugly, and I gave your Browns some props. You shut up.
So when we talk about coaching, and I'm going to make this, I'm going to say it, I don't think Byron Leftwich is going to return. And if the Bucs continue how they are continuing now, when I say continue as far as being an embarrassment, I don't think Todd Bowles comes back next year either. I think both of them are going to be fired. And especially yesterday, when the Bucs got the ball back, it was 30, and this is what everybody across the league is talking about when we talk about bad coaching by Todd Bowles. And, I don't even care how they punted it away on the 37-yard line. It would have been a 55-yard field goal. He didn't try it, so they got the 5-yard penalty, delay a game to punt it back to the Browns. That's okay. That is like, okay, Ryan Sutcliffe's leg is really not that long. Do we want to risk giving up field goal position? Okay. But then the punter messes up, and that's only a net of like 12 yards. And I'm about to get to that Brady point because I noticed a lot yesterday where there was wide open gaps for a mobile quarterback to run. Tom Brady got sacked, or he overthrew Mike Evans. So, but when we talk about coaching in that fourth quarter, it was like 37 seconds left when the Bucs got the ball back with 3 timeouts.
Yeah, now that right there got on my nerve. That right there was that just blew my mind.
That drive looked like they were playing to go to overtime.
Yeah.
And it's like they wasted 20 seconds, and then you get a 25-yard pass to the 50. Now all of a sudden you call timeout, bro. You got
8 seconds left on the clock.
Like, you've wasted all the time. So again, I wanted to give Todd Bowles his chance because I was like, he didn't have a team in New York when he was up there, but
to be honest, I think that was a Tom Brady call. To be honest, because Tom had just as much power to call timeout as well. Tom went on through with it.
Yeah, but the coaches, it comes down to coaching. As a coach, you control time management. And either Byron should have called it, Todd should have called it. One of the assistant coaches who is specific position is to look at the clock. Somebody should have called a timeout in that situation. Like, you don't let 20 seconds. But again, that tells me they were playing for overtime, and they were shocked when they got that 25, 30-yard pass to Julio at the 50-yard line. Then they're like, oh, shoot, we can go get in field goal range. Now, bro, you wasted 20-something seconds. And everybody, even on the broadcast, was talking about, they were shocked. And I don't like and agree with Skip Bayless, but even Skip Bayless tweet yesterday afternoon was talking about, the timeouts. I'm like, dang, I know it's Christmas time, but why are the Bucs holding on to 2 timeouts? Those don't roll over. You play to win the game.
Well, when you say roll over, I read a tweet this morning from a Bucs fan. A Bucs fan said, "Good morning, Bucs fans. Just remember, we got 2 timeouts left. Enjoy your day." We got 2 timeouts left. Enjoy your day at work or whatever you're doing today. So we got 2 more timeouts left, y'all. So Bucs fan, let's just go ahead and use them 2 timeouts wisely this week.
Yeah, so the offense is just too predictable. And it's inexcusable why the Bucs offense cannot score any points. And Tom Brady said it yesterday in his press conference that they need to score more. Same thing he says every week. What surprised me yesterday was when he said we're not in sync and players are not on the same page. You just had a bye week. How are you not on the same page? That comes back to coaching. And it also comes to adjustments, which Byron Leftwich and Todd Bowles are not good at. Todd Bowles made some good adjustments on the defensive side. Those blitzes and the sacks that the Bucs got on defense in the fourth worked. But again, you can't expect your defense to hold a team every single down. We ain't talking about the 0-2 Buccaneer defense. We're talking about a defense who is a bend but may break defense. So they will hold you up, expecting the offense to work.
They'll give you enough to work with, but in the end, you can't really trust those. There's a 90% chance they're not going to win the game for you.
Correct.
When it boils down to it. And that's what's been proven.
Correct. And so I think the play calling is too predictable. Byron is too stubborn to stop this run on first down every drive. Like it's just like that first drive yesterday looked amazing. Rest of the game, Bucs offense looked like the normal Bucs offense because he went back to the simple play calling. If I'm home and can say what plays they're going to call, like what do you think a defense who've studied game tape thinks what's going to happen to the Bucs offense? And it happened. Like the Bucs offense was stagnant, but it happens every single game. That's why I will say Byron Leftwich is not going to be the offensive coordinator. If Todd Bowles knows what's best for him to save his job, Byron Leftwich is not going to be the offensive coordinator when this season ends. And it just sucks because you have Tom Brady. When Tom Brady leaves and we have this coaching staff, we are going to be the rock bottom. We're already rock bottom right now, just grateful to be in the NFC South at 5-6.
And we're number one.
Yeah, at 5-6 and still number one. It just baffles me. It's irritating. It's frustrating because it doesn't make sense that Mike Evans is not on the same page with Tom Brady. It doesn't make sense that our past, like these play calls are elementary. Like it just doesn't make sense how Byron Leftwich sits there and looks and calls some dumb plays that are not tricking or fooling anybody. And so it just baffles me.
We are the new NFC East. We are what the NFC East used to be. When everybody used to be 8-9, 9-7, 8-8, 9-7, and 7-9, and just hoping and praying to get in there. Now we're in a position where anybody in the NFC South can go to the playoffs. Anybody. And then we still got to play the Bengals. We still got to play the 49ers. We still got to play them.
I'm trying to see if Bowles has talked this morning yet. I don't.
Well, I will say this: I will be at the Saints game or the Bucs game next week, so that's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to be right there. So at least now, we now know that it's going to be going back down to this Saints and Bucs thing again, as we know now. So the competition is still in full effect right now. The competition is still in full effect. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how all this turns out. Because to be honest, I really don't know who's going to turn out on top. We all losing.
Yeah. So I was waiting for that, but I don't think they've talked yet today for their Monday press conference. But so these are the stats from why Byron Leftwich needs to go. So the Bucs had 11 offensive possessions yesterday in regulation. Out of those 11, they had 3 and outs in 6 of those.
Okay.
And they converted only 26% of third downs yesterday. That is not acceptable when you have a quarterback as in Tom Brady. And I will say on the offensive side,
Donovan Smith, by the way, he's getting on my nerves. He's getting on my nerves, man. I'm not really worried about that right side. It's that left side. Donovan Smith been giving up a lot of sacks, man.
Yeah, and so speaking of offensive line, I just saw this morning Tristan Wirfs. I think it's 3 to 4 weeks he's out now,
Oh Lord have mercy. That's it.
which is the best possibility for the Bucs. This tweet I saw his ankle, not the leg that got landed on. So I mean, thankfully it's
Well, he
nothing.
had an ankle problem last year. So now we got to take Tom, the sports authority, to get him some more cleats so he can get some track shoes.
But no, I will say, I will say, I don't know what's. We already knew the offensive line was terrible. Ryan Jensen doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon either. So, but that goes back to play calling for me. If you know Myles Garrett is beating your offensive lineman, you double team, you move the plays away, like you do something to where he doesn't keep biting off that D line. But I will say, Rachaad White, Chris Godwin played. They came up big yesterday. Especially Chris Godwin. He had a lot of catches that kept the game going for the Bucs. But yeah, I'm ready for the Byron Leftwich experiment to be over. If Todd Bowles doesn't change soon, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this whole coaching regime to be over because it's just unacceptable that the Bucs are 5-6 and how we lose falls on the coaching. Like the time management, the play calling, it falls on coaching, and it's unacceptable. And Matt Ramsden said Brady's not a modern quarterback. That goes to coaching where you have to plan for the future. Brady's not going to be here forever. Hopefully, this is his last season because the game has caught up to him.
It won't be.
It probably is. Remember Brady's a free agent. If I'm Tom Brady, why would I come back to the Bucs with the atrocious play calling, the bad coaching, and a 5-6 record when I could go back to the West Coast, as the rumor is, with the 49ers, or I can go to the best team in Florida and probably one of the best teams in the AFC in the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins look hella good. So why would I come back to Tampa as a free agent?
They're not going to bump Tua. If the Dolphins make it far in the playoff, they're not going to dump him for Tom.
But I'm just saying that the two teams that he was rumored to be around this past offseason.
And if the 49ers go to, now the 49ers, they just want a ring right now at this point. So I think it's Super Bowl or bust for them. So
that's what I'm saying.
You think they're willing to move
Garoppolo? Yeah, because they drafted Trey Lance. I mean, they drafted a quarterback to replace Garoppolo. But he's just hurt.
They're willing to move him and take Tom and put Tom over there when Trey's going to be back next year.
Yes, because they tried to move Garoppolo this past offseason, but just didn't find anybody to suit. Because would be interesting, Garoppolo could very well end in Tampa, and it could be a flip-flop of quarterback.
Would you take it?
It goes back to coaching. And even yesterday, it was just so many open lanes where I'm like, damn, if Tom had at least a little wheels, he could have ran for this first down. Like, there were so many open times where he could have run. Where I look up and, you watch the Eagles game last night, Jalen Hurts is running all over that defense because, they have a mobile quarterback. And I'm not saying we need a quarterback to run like Jalen Hurts, but a quarterback that if you see a lane can at least run for 3-4 yards. And there were so many opportunities yesterday that Tom could have done that, but he's just too scared and slow to run, which, again, in his prime of the NFL, quarterbacks didn't really run. You stayed in the pocket, and he could sling it. So, as Matt's point, I do think the time has, the game has caught up to him to where you need a mobile quarterback. Even yesterday, Jacoby Brissett ran for a couple first downs on our defense and moved the chains when the Browns needed it. That's just how the NFL is. And so I just, the Bucs are not going to the Super Bowl this year. We're not going to the NFC Championship game. So I think for the Bucs, we need to start thinking about the future, and that future does not need to involve Tom Brady or you either let Kyle Trask play some of these games and see why you drafted him. Because if you drafted him and don't think he's the future, then why did you even draft him in the first place? But we got to figure out these next steps because the game is passing, especially now when you look at our offensive line. Our starting center is out. Our tackle and Tristan Wirfs is now out for pretty much a month. So that's 2 starting offensive linemen out. Donovan Smith is not playing worth anything. You need a quarterback.
All we got really is Shaq Mason.
So you need a quarterback who can get out of the pocket. Tom Brady, I hope this does not happen, but the wrong team we're playing on Sunday or Monday in the New Orleans Saints. That D line already with no injuries on our Bucs O line causes us problems on a normal game day. We need a mobile quarterback, and I love Tom Brady. Again, he's the greatest quarterback, but he looks off. He overthrew Mike Evans both times yesterday. Like, it's just something is not clicking. So when you are off in passing, you need a quarterback who can supplement when it's a 3rd and 3, no one's open, you run for those 3 yards.
Hey, man, maybe we got to go back and, hey, man, what Michael Vick doing? You think I'm funny? Matter of fact, let's go get Cam Newton at this point. Damn. At least Cam will run it. Hey, man, look, I'm actually joking, but not, shout out to Cam Newton. But Kyle Trask, man, he's a good quarterback. But Kyle ain't got legs either, man. I ain't seen him run that thing in Florida. And I've watched him from day one hit the field all the way until the last game. And I've never really seen him run that thing like that. So Kyle Trask is really, and what, Garoppolo, whatever his name is, Garoppolo, like, he doesn't run. But I'm sure he'll take off if he need to give you 3 yards. But Tom is just incapable of just giving us those extra good looks. And that's when it makes our offense become more
one dimension.
Yeah, because defenses are sitting back like, well, we know he ain't finna take off. He had a year where he took off a couple times, and it worked out for him. And I feel like the last time Tom really took off, remember that? It was the Saints game last year that I was at, and he ran. He kept running. I'm like, oh, the next thing he will pop, fumbled the ball. And I'm like, we never seen that really happen again. So we still going Super Bowl, though.
What? I was about to say about, like, no, let me not say that. What have you been eating?
I ate a couple peanuts this morning. Drunk a gallon of water.
I don't know what.
Now we going Super Bowl, though. We got a chance to go.
I don't know what had you believe in that. If we done lost to the Browns, the Steelers, the Panthers this year,
no. I ain't gonna lie. This loss was worse than the Steelers loss. It was the worst loss of the year, to be honest. What's the worst loss out of all of them? To me, I still feel like that Steelers one. Okay, that was a little early.
No, I say this one, and then the Panthers and the Steelers. It's the Browns, Panthers, Steelers.
Okay, yeah, we shouldn't have lost to the Panthers at all. We shouldn't have lost to them. And then we got to play, I think, the Panthers one more time, the Saints 2 times, right? Because we didn't play the Saints yet. Yeah, we played them. We played the Saints one time. We got to play the Falcons twice. That's the only team we didn't play yet. And I think the Falcons are the last that we played. But we got the 49ers up after the Saints. So we got to get the Saints out of the way. We got to get the 49ers out of the way. And we got to get the Bengals out of the way.
Yeah. The Bucs are 5 and 6.
To be honest, we got to win the rest of our games because we still got to.
I would be surprised if we win 2 more games this season.
If we don't, or we do.
If we do win 2 more games,
we're going to Super Bowl.
And that's saying a lot. But how this team is playing, how it's being coached, I would be surprised if we win 2 more games. And it sucks though because the talent is there. We should make the playoffs. The NFC South is terrible. We should be in the playoffs, number 1. And it's like the rest of the NFC South is gifting the Bucs this first place. Whenever we lose, they lose.
Do you really think? All right, who do you think gonna keep it funky? Do you think anybody in that locker room is keeping it? I believe that's a team that hold each other accountable.
No, because on the defensive side, they're going.
But are they holding do you think the coaches at all are coming to Tom like Tom? Like, do you really think they're like, hey, bro, Tom, What up?
So I mean, think about it.
You really think they're having a heart to heart?
Well, they did, according to the reports. What was that when they lost to the when they had like that 3-game losing streak? Remember, it came out that they had a players only meeting, yada yada yada. Then they won those 2. Then they went to London and won. Beat the Seahawks, and so it looked like it worked, but clearly it didn't. But just think about it. During end game, Ndamukong Suh is not there anymore. He was the fire that would yell, yell.
And I said that he should have came back over JPP.
JPP is gone. JPP had him a sack or assisted sack yesterday. Yesterday,
and
but
he had an interception last week, I think.
Yeah. So
and he only got one hand.
The two voices on your defense that were the big voices are gone. Devin White, okay, he does the pregame stuff, but in the game, you don't hear from him. Like, so the 2 people on defense who you know in game are gonna pump everybody up, who gonna yell, cuss, shout at people, may get a unsportsmanlike conduct close to it, but it pumps up everybody, gone. On the offensive side, Ryan Jensen was that person that used to do stuff on the line, purposely push the defense, get close to doing stuff that would get a flag. He's hurt on the sideline. Like, so the players on the Bucs, like, it's just not there. And Matt, to your question, it's going to be difficult.
That's going to be hard because we got to see how the offseason looking.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because so Jason Light is going to have to say, hey, are we hitting rebuild, or do I still think we have a chance to win a Super Bowl? I think that Jimmy Garoppolo situation is very.
He's not going to throw Kyle Trask in there. They might have well sent Kyle Trask off.
So I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is probably realistic. I don't think Lamar Jackson is leaving Baltimore, so we can kiss that dream goodbye. I just don't see him leaving. Baltimore is going to give that man the key to the city, the key to the county, the key to the region, and give him how much money he wants. So I don't think Lamar Jackson is going to leave. You could have I don't know, maybe a star if he's a starter, but we just played him yesterday. And Jacoby Brissett, he's probably going to want to leave Cleveland because Deshaun Watson comes back this week and is now the starter.
He's going to lose his spot. He ain't playing the rest of the season.
Yeah, so Jacoby Brissett may be an option that he wants to come to where to start. So, I mean, you have him or Jimmy Garoppolo. It's going to be hard because you got it, like Big Spoke said. I know I'm calling you that, but we got to figure out the offseason. But
we can always get Zach Wilson.
Well, I mean, yeah, because he don't look like his job coming back for the Jets. Because, But also, but I do question again. You drafted Kyle
Trask, bro.
You drafted him. If you're not even going to let him play, because think about it, Kyle Trask has yet to play a game. The only games he played is preseason. So if you're not even going to let him step on the field, what was the point of drafting him? So
and wasting that entire round.
Yeah. And he's been inactive. He was inactive yesterday. Like, he's been inactive. Like, so it's not like he's on the sideline with a helmet in case Brady gets hurt, he's going in. No, like, he's been inactive.
They're basically saying, look, bro, we don't need you. Because it ain't injuries at this point. That man is chilling. They're saying basically, look, man, we know Brady is going to be in the game. He could get hurt, but you're just not going to hit that field, bro. We don't need you. Or do you think it might be this? It might be, well, because if you lose, let's just say you lose Tom and then you lose Gabbert, then what?
Well, Blaine Gabbert's not a starting quarterback anyway.
Well, I'm saying, well, let's just say this happens 2 times in a game. Either the game is rigged, because think about it. Why the hell don't you have 3 quarterbacks on the sideline? You know, there has been times when both quarterbacks in the history of the NFL went down in the same game. So what happens if Gabbert goes down if Tom gets hurt? If Tom gets hurt and Blaine Gabbert gets hurt, who goes in there if old boy is inactive?
Well, not only that, if he's active, what kind of experience is he getting? Because he's not sitting next to Tom and Blaine when they're going over what happened in the previous. Like, he's not getting that experience.
He's not getting the. Yeah, you're right. He's not getting the, even just from the sideline.
Like he's
just the adrenaline rush of just the loudness of the fans and the crowds, and just, traveling with the team and stuff, he ain't getting that. So now, if you throw him in there, he's going to be thrown to the wolves because they're going to, Tampa Bay, the fans, if he should give us 2 bad games, especially 3, I think they're going to boot him. And whose fault is that? Whose fault is that after that? Because the man never really had a chance. So do you think if he does play now, which is not going to be anything, let's just say next year he is the quarterback, you have now officially thrown this man to the wolves. So he doesn't really have a chance to build like a true William. I mean, he's not a freshman, but you might as well say he's a freshman, a real freshman quarterback.
What up, JR? Yeah, I mean that's
no more.
But JR Dot just posted. That's the same point. That's what I said. I don't know if you just joined us, but the mobile quarterback is what I said that we need because there was too many opportunities yesterday where if we had a mobile quarterback, we could have picked up those first downs because hearing that we were only 26% on third downs, that's terrible.
That's terrible. You know who actually is underrated? I'm telling you, you're not going to expect for me to say this. I told you this last year. What's the name of that quarterback? I'm telling you, he's a little older now, but this man numbers is not bad, and he never really had a true chance to really show out. But he was backup last year for Lamar, and then the year before that, he was with the Jets, and he damn near had like a 30-something point comeback. What's that mobile quarterback that we drafted a long time ago? I think with
who's the quarterback?
Raheem Morris, I believe.
Who's the quarterback for?
He's the quarterback for us.
I'm talking about now.
I don't know where he's at now. He's a backup everywhere he goes. He actually left the NFL. He came back, made lit up some. I think the only reason why he didn't get recognition is because he was with a sorry team, who was with the Jets, and the season was pretty much over with for them. I forgot what's dude name, man. Oh my God, bro. I can't remember what his name is, man.
Okay, so this is a list of like the early quarterback free agents. Lamar Jackson, Geno Smith, who actually is playing very well in Seattle. Crazy that Seattle, I guess, knew that Russell Wilson could leave and they'll still be okay because the Broncos are terrible. They're probably going to run. And I feel bad. They're gonna run Russell out of.
Not Geno Smith. It's not Geno Smith. Sure, he was never with the Bucs. He played for us a long time ago. But yeah,
Denver's gonna run Russell out of that the Mile High country, and I feel bad for him. So of course we know Brady's gonna be a free agent. So those are like the top 3, and so I don't think. I think Brady.
Josh Johnson.
Who? Josh Johnson. He had his time. He played a couple times with the Bucs.
No, he wasn't that good when he played for us. Then he left the league, did his thing in Arena Football, I believe, or European League or whatever. Then he came back, did his thing with the Jets, and he was Lamar Jackson's backup last year and didn't do too terribly bad over there either. Look, I believe Josh Johnson can do the job, but I know he ain't coming back to Tampa Bay. But I'm telling you, man, Josh Johnson, I wouldn't sleep on it. I mean,
now this is a quarterback heavy draft, so there are some rookies that could play quarterback. But again, it's just going to depend what the Bucs record is. If the Bucs win the NFC South, they're not going to be in any position to take a quarterback, and so I don't think the Bucs rebuild on a quarterback through the draft. They did it last year, or how long Kyle Trask? It's crazy.
The last quarterback that we built with from draft was Jameis.
Yeah, but I'm talking about we just drafted Kyle Trask. So I mean, technically,
to be honest, and I think that whole Kyle Trask thing, I don't really want to get into, but I think that was like we really want to allow we want a certain type of quarterbacks like the Tom Brady's to keep the motor going, but we're realizing that ain't working. You get what I'm saying? If you understand what I mean. I think that the Bucs truthfully want quarterbacks. They didn't have a problem with the Brad Johnsons of the world, the Chris Sims. Even Chris Sims took off of the world. The Tom Brady's of the world. Hell, we can go as far as Steve Smith. I think there's a certain, we're going to go with Garoppolo. You feel me? Garoppolo, whatever his name is. I don't really think that the Bucs really love scrambling quarterbacks unless they can just get the job done for real, for real. And you know what? You know who we could wait on, right? We could wait on Deion Sanders' son. He's nice. I wouldn't look like that. You better look into that boy highlights. That boy,
I watch
that
JSU
boy is
all the time.
that boy is NFL ready.
I don't. No, I
Yes,
don't.
yes, he is.
I don't see.
He is. He is. He is. No, you got to go back and look.
I
That
don't.
boy.
I don't see
That
that
boy
being.
is official. You are tripping.
I don't see that being the answer. I mean, he's definitely nice. He's should, but we know how
He's official.
HBCUs don't get mentioned in the conversation.
It
I mean, he's
doesn't
definitely
matter.
having
He's getting mentioned. He done been on Skip and Shannon a couple times.
Let me
ESPN.
finish. When I say mentioned, HBCUs don't ever get mentioned when we talk about season-ending awards, Heisman, that kind of stuff. And he's definitely having a great year. I just don't think. I don't think that he's going to translate as far as what the Bucs need. Now, the point was made, like taking cover sacks and throwing away the ball is outdated. It is, and that's what I think the Bucs should be realizing if they want to save their jobs, that it is outdated. But you do have Tom Brady. So what is Tom Brady's strengths? If Tom Brady gets time, he will shred your defensive part. So you need to call the plays that allow that. If you're calling run plays on first downs every time, the defense is not going to stack it. If you're not, so if there's no worry, we're going to keep getting beat. And so that's why I hate harping on this, but Byron Leftwich needs to go. And so when you talk about Monday, the Bucs play the Saints. I don't think we're going to beat the Saints. I know you're going to that game. I hope the Bucs win because you're there, but I don't think the Bucs are going to beat the Saints.
We not only are we going to beat them, we're going to the Super Bowl.
We're not good.
Not only are we a good team, we're going to the Super Bowl. And when we get there, I'm gonna need you to up the perks or what you need to buy me.
If the Bucs make the Super, where's the Super Bowl this year?
I don't care. I really don't know.
Where's the Super Bowl this year?
I will say this: if the Bucs gets to the Super Bowl, I don't care if they win it. If they get there, I'm gonna need you to buy me $500. Matter of fact, you got a $500 bill on your hands, Mister. And I want nothing but $500 worth of Bucs stuff of my choice.
Oh, it's in Arizona. $
500 of Bucs gear of my choice. And to be honest, that's actually kind of light because the things I'm about to ask for, I'm about to get. Matter of fact, I need you to buy me a season ticket holder. Make me a season ticket holder next year if we go. But now the Bucs got to understand. I really don't think that Bucs culture is ready. The last scrambling quarterback we had was Jameis Winston, who we knew we could do it, and Shine King, to be honest. Josh Johnson was like that. Josh Freeman didn't really do it as much, but I really think that we got to just, the whole NFL just has to get over themselves, and every team has to get over themselves and understand that, look, the Justin Fields of the world, the Lamar Jacksons of the world, hell, Michael Vick, and Randall Cunningham, who changed the game. This is what that is, bro. You got people like what's old boy from the Bills which one of them boys taking off like that on the Bills or the Chargers? Which one of them?
Both.
And you got Tyler Heineke, bro. This junk is just different. You got old boy from the Giants who we gave a job, Jones. It's just different, man. All these owners and all these old time fans, I know y'all want the good old boy back there. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's time for a shift, and you're not gonna win no football games that way. And if you do, you better put a Peyton Manning, aka Tom Brady caliber type of line that they can trust in order to get somewhere. Because other than that, the teams are going to share edge your whole doggone offensive part and start catching on. You might get away with it for a year, maybe two, but after a while, these DBs are different now. They don't, they're faster than the DBs that we grew up watching. I would say they're a lot smarter now because this is the passing league that we're in. These DBs are different. Hell, I want to say the kids now are just different, bro. And they're not the old traditional players, hard-nosed players that we grew up watching. The game is changing. So you're either going to get a mobile quarterback to shred what they need to shred, or you're going to run into a lot of problems. How many games do you think the Eagles would lose if Justin Fields, if Justin Hurts, if Jalen Hurts wasn't a mobile quarterback? How many games do you think they would win this year?
I mean, a lot of the plays he made is because he was a mobile quarterback.
I know. He had the same amount of yards last night as the running back. That's some Lamar Jackson type of stuff. So my thing is, how many games do you think they would lose this year if he just give them maybe I say about 15 yards a game? If he wasn't doing what he was doing, how many games do you think they'd lose? Because these last 2 weeks, I mean, they lost last week, but you see what's going on. They're giving them boys. These teams are just about beating them, but they running up the score with these legs. We need a mobile quarterback, plain and simple. Tampa Bay, get over yourself.
I remember saying we should have drafted Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields. I knew they was going to slide him. Like, Jalen Hurts is going to be good. I said it.
But, when you got Tom Brady out there, it doesn't, And Jalen Hurts would have still been sitting back chilling. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
really want the press, and I don't think Tampa Bay would have sat with that well, because Jalen Hurts would have been chilling too for at least 2 years, all because Tom Brady is Tom Brady, and you got to think about it. Do you really want that smoke that the Patriots faced when Jimmy was over there, and then all of a sudden you say, "Hey, man, we got to put Jalen." The fans and the franchises. A lot of these fans and franchises are still not willing to accept the fact that that's what they need. And Tom he's in the way of that. He's still playing good. He's not who he used to be, but his numbers are still good. Look at his numbers. His numbers are still top dog. He ain't. The running game is just not starting to do what it do a little bit, but you're still trusting this man to throw the ball up to 40-something times a game, and he ain't making that many mistakes. Could he have had a lot of other mistakes this year? Yes, Tom was supposed to have about 8, 9 interceptions at least this year, for real. But unfortunately, these guys, well, not unfortunately, but luckily these guys, they dropped the balls and they didn't deliver. But when you look at everything, man, it is what it is, everybody. I'm specifically talking to Bucs fans. I understand you want your guys back there. Hell, they my guys too, because I'm a Bucs fan, but it ain't looking, this is not the future anymore. This ain't the future anymore. And to be honest, that's why the Sean Kings of the world, that's why, people are all right, because at one point people did get tired of Sean King running, but they wanted him to what? Pass? They wanted him to pass more than he ran. Right? That was really what the big issue was with it, right?
Well,
come on now.
I mean,
he got replaced for Brad Johnson, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, because Brad Johnson had came in as a proven winning quarterback, and that was part
of it. Quarterback. But Sean King was one as well. It's just that he didn't have John Gruden to coach him up.
Yeah, and then Brad Johnson, comes in, win the Bucs the Super Bowl, and I mean that's what Tom Brady did too. Because I mean, and I hate because Jameis is probably not going to play on Sunday, but if Jameis would have taken away those interceptions,
he would have still been here.
He would still be in the Bucs because he ran the ball when he needed to. He could throw. We know he could make them dark.
Should we take Jameis back, man?
No, but
you don't think so?
No,
I think Jalen's going. I'm not Jalen. I think that Jameis can come new and improve, man. I still ain't counted that out.
JR, I've been saying this all season. JB was laughing at me when I said I hope this is the last year for Brady, and Big Spoke was laughing at me. I truly hope this is the last year that Tom Brady's in a Bucs uniform.
Tom Brady's not trash, but he probably do need to leave Tampa, though. I ain't gonna lie. He is in the way of our progress. He's taking up way too much money, and like I said, man, he's not a bad quarterback. So it's like,
he's not. But the thing is,
not even average.
When you have a Myles Garrett, when you have an Aaron Donald, a defensive lineman who runs faster than your linebackers, you can't like the pocket quarterback is gone. Like so you gotta have a quarterback who, when he sees all his receivers covered, can get you 3-4 yards, can push it down can extend a drive, and not because your receivers are covered, you take a coverage sack or have to throw it out of bounds. Like this is the NFL is now about extending plays, and being able to show you're not just a one-dimensional offensive team. So that's why I think, again, I love Brady. I appreciate, he brought us a ring, 2 rings now for the franchise, but unless the Bucs are going to go out and get Tristan Wirfs, 5 of them, the offensive line is not going to hold up consistently, and we see that. And I also think he's also taking a step backwards. I mean, as much as we don't want to think getting older, you stay the same. No, when you get older, your body does too. He overthrew Mike Evans a couple times yesterday. It wasn't even close. So, and that's your number 1 star receiver who just got 10,000 yards in his career yesterday. So it's like, it's just something is off. And I don't know what it is. But yeah, you're going to the Saints game on Monday, so I hope they win for you. But the way this team is playing is hard.
Okay, I guess they ain't winning for you because this is my 2nd year going in a row now, going to a Saints game. Look. And to be honest, like I said, yeah, we're supposed to be ahead even further, but if I had to pick, it's all falling right where I guess we kind of predicted it to be, but we didn't think that the division was going to be so doggone sorry. Saints and Bucs. Unfortunately, that's what it is right now, right?
Now the Falcons are still 2nd place,
yeah, but everybody got a chance, bro.
But yeah, no, the Falcons are 2nd place. But the thing is, this game on Monday night is going to be our Super Bowl. Like the Bucs have to win, because if they don't win, the Bucs go to 5-7. The Bucs go to. We was going to be this trash.
But I chose it because I knew it was going to be competitive.
So the Bucs will go to 5-7, and the Saints would go to. What is the Saints record?
The Saints have lost 8 games.
They're 4-8. So the Saints would go to 5-8. The Bucs would go to 5-7. That's why this game on Monday is going to be literally like the Super Bowl of NFC South.
Well, it's the battle of the South right now, for real, for real. Hey man, I'm here for it, man. Hey, is Kyle Trask is he gonna at least suit up?
No, he's probably not. And I will say this: the Saints got shut out yesterday, so they're going to be coming into Tampa. It's already a little rivalry between us, so it already pumps them up. But they got shut out yesterday. They got embarrassed 13-0 by the 49ers. So
I mean, that's the 49ers, bro.
Yeah, but I'm saying they didn't score 0 points.
Actually, not that bad.
They scored nothing, so they went a whole game scoring 0 points. So they're going to come to Tampa trying to show. Now, I do think playing Andy Dalton is better for the Bucs than playing Jameis Winston. I do think that is a more favorable matchup.
That's what I'm saying. You don't think Jameis finna play a little bit?
I don't know, unless he plays like I remember last year where he came in for that trick play and killed us in the that was Super Bowl year. Remember he came.
That was last year. No.
That was Super Bowl year.
That was Super Bowl year. That was Super Bowl year.
He came in and threw the little trick play, wide open touchdown pass. I don't know.
Hey man, it is what it is, man. Everybody, man, y'all know what to do. They said Jameis will start or play somehow versus us. Yeah, I think Redhead will get injured. Well, whatever the case may be, Jameis gonna touch that field some type of way. I can guarantee y'all that. I'm willing to bet about 20 on that or 50. So here's the thing, y'all. Y'all will be at the game on Monday, but all y'all, if y'all want to keep up with the Bucs or the reports that we got going on, we've been doing this for a while now. We're on Bucs World YouTube, and we are also on Facebook, Spoken Reasons TV. That's where we at. Y'all can always go back and look and see all the different contents on there and check out Bucs World, whatever the case may be. But this right here is the center station. So when I'm on this thing, I'm also on Twitter. So we're on Twitter as well. So we on like 4 different platforms right now. Got it all mashed together. So whoever want to chime in, I know everybody is not a sports fan, so we understand that, but we do appreciate the ones that are showing up consistently and the new folks that are discovering it. Shout out to Mr. Buck Nation. I think that's his name. Remember, Mr. Buck Nation on YouTube. He's like one of the biggest reporters. He's like one of the biggest reporters on for the Bucks, and he gave us a shout out. He said, good job on Bucks World. So that's dope. So we do have people watching us and respecting what we're talking about because we some real Bucks fans. We understand what we know our Bucks. That's it. So it is what it is. When we play y'all team, y'all make sure y'all hit us up on Twitter. Follow B-Ham, follow me. And that's pretty much it. Brandon, go ahead and sing the song.
Oh, you can sing it because ain't nothing to be happy about because
Brandon ain't even sing the song during Super Bowl yet. So, that just goes to show how ragged he is.
Nah,
hey, man.
It's disappointment Monday for Bucks fans.
And even when we doing good, we could have one drive. Brandon be like, oh, we suck. One drive. We can't have one drive in the game without Brandon hitting me up, bro. At all. Not one good drive with Brandon hit me up on every that one bad drive. Oh, here we go. Yep. Here we go. When the defense only gave up 200 points this year. That's pretty doggone good. But yeah, y'all, we finna go, man. Our offense rough, our defense tough. Go. That's right. We're gonna keep faith. We're going to Super Bowl. Yeah, we're about to get them Saints girls out of there, bro. Our offense rough, our defense tough. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. Where your spirit at? Ain't no other team stopping us. Go Bucks. Go Bucks. In the Raymond James, we do our thing every time we score them cannon bang. If you want to see a game, go Bucks. Go Bucks. Now, what's the most important thing we say at the end, ladies and gentlemen? I'm a Tampa Bay fan, and I'm going to stay with them. That's what we do. Yeah, he say he's staying with him, but he counting his eye. We're going to Super Bowl, bro. We at least going to playoff. We're getting up in there. One way or another. Well, we got to cheat, call the refs, call Roger Goodell to get something popping. Tom got to go to the playoff. So, yeah, if we end up going, that means we cheated. If it didn't look so bright. The game a little rigged. At least you say it is. So, yeah. All right, y'all. We about to roll on out. B-Ham, you done?
I'm good. I ain't gonna let the Bucks piss me off no more.
All right. It is what it is, y'all. Like I say, keep the faith. And Bucks we trust. God gonna get us a Super Bowl.